this show a 5 out of 5. Like I said, you guys let me know what you think of that episode. Like I said, I'm tuning to see what's going to happen next week. And we also know too, a little side note. I know it's no, it's not I know it's very obvious. It's not to talk about right now. This is pretty much the last 4 or 5 months we have of SmackDown on Fox. We know that SmackDown is moving back to USA Network this September. So let's enjoy SmackDown on Fox while we can, because it will be moving back to USA Network, as Raw will be moving to Netflix next January. So temporarily we'll have SmackDown Raw on the same network again. Temporarily though, until January. But other than that though, that's what I have for Solo Sikoa, Revamps the Bloodline with Tonga. And it's time for the bonus round. Let's get into it. And let's set that up shortly, because it's some things I want to talk about with this whole bonus round. Because there's a lot of seeds been planted, and now they're about to grow. Let's talk about it. All right. We are here at the bonus round. Bonus round is here. And what we're going to talk about in the bonus round, what I would like to discuss, as I mentioned, I will discuss at some given point, we're going to talk about the Bloodline stories continue, Civil War 2. We're talking about the Bloodline. We're talking about the great story that we built. We are talking about the Bloodline. Now we know that earlier. We know that Solo has attacked Jimmy Uso. We know that we brought in a new character, which is Toma Tonga. He's revamped the Bloodline. We know that has been going on, and this is the whole revamp. Solo and Toma Tonga, as mentioned, he was originally in Reality of Wrestling with Booker T, and he's also son of Haku. So they are forming a little group together. We got those two together. Solo on Friday Night SmackDown, when he attacked Jimmy and he stopped the phone down from Paul Heyman when he was going to let Tribal Chief know, that lets me know that Solo was not listening to Roman anymore, and he was taking orders from someone else. I believe he was taking orders from The Rock, which is the final boss. Because it's going to come down to the main thing, the storyline. It's not just about Solo and Jimmy and Jay and Tama Tonga and whoever else. It's going to come down to one thing and one thing only, and it's going to be the final boss or the head of the table, which means The Rock or Roman Reigns. Now, I know Rock or Roman Reigns are not on TV every week. The Rock's going to be away filming his new movie, starting in May and in August. Roman Reigns is a part-timer, especially since he lost the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania 40. So, Solo is going to do what he can to get the Bloodline on his side, and then we're going to have Jimmy and Jay Uso on their side. Now, also, since Jimmy was attacked, it's pretty much making him a babyface again. And to make him babyface, he's going to link up back with his brother Jay Uso, Mr. Yeet, and main event Jay Uso. He's going to be on Monday Night Raw, or they could be over there for a while and then come back to Friday Night SmackDown. They do have some unsettled business based off what Solo did to Jimmy on Friday Night SmackDown. Jimmy's not going to forget about it, but he know he's outnumbered right now. He can't do nothing with him and Tama Tonga and whoever else is involved, so he needs some backup. And who other get backup calling for your brother, who you just had a match at WrestleMania 40. And we know Jey Uso said that Despite him defeating his brother Jimmy at WrestleMania 40, he wants to make up with his brother and make things right. He wants him and his brother be on the same page again. So what other way for brothers to join forces who were once rivals and even face WrestleMania to team up against Solo, Toma, and whoever else is on Solo's side? And also, they would link up together and link up with Roman Reigns because there is some beef with Roman Reigns. The Bloodline is going to be mad that Roman lost the Universal Championship at WrestleMania, despite the fact it was Bloodline rules, everything working in towards Roman Reigns' favor, and yet he still lost because of a simple mistake, as Paul Heyman stated on SmackDown, of him focusing on Seth Rollins, who said he was the shield for Cody Rhodes, leading into this whole main event matchup of Cody and Roman. And instead of he had a chance to hit Cody with the chair or Seth, he hit Seth, and it ultimately cost him his long run of 1,316 days as Undisputed WWE Universal Champion. So that could be the case. But when they do link up, it's going to be divided. It's going to be divided. It's going to be two sides of the Bloodline. You're going to have a side with Jimmy, Jay, and Roman, and Solo, Toma, and who else? It's going to be a side like this side here. Let's see, you got Toma here. Let's see what you say. Goodbread, you said Roman could get drafted as well to Raw. That's a fact. He can be. That's a good scenario. Roman Reigns, since he's no longer the champion, he can get drafted for Monday Night Raw, and he could be over there along with Jey Uso and maybe Jimmy Uso. They all three could be on the same brand. But, SmackDown and Raw is pretty stacked. We can't say SmackDown's lacking stars or Raw's lacking stars, so we could go either way. And then Roman is a part-timer as well, so it wouldn't make any difference if he did go to Raw. He's not going to be there every week anyway. So that's a good scenario. Jimmy can make it right, help JB Damian. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up too. We do know that Jey Uso won a number one contendership match this past Monday night on Raw, pinning Drew McIntyre to face Damian Priest at Backlash for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this is Damian's first opponent since winning the championship, cashing the Money Bank contract at WrestleMania 40 on Drew McIntyre, the previous champion. So yes, if he wins, I don't think Jey needs to win. It would definitely help him out, and it would bring a world championship back to the Bloodline now that Roman has lost. Definitely do that. And let's see if we got them three on the side. Jey is champion, Jimmy. We could see at some given point, we could see and I said this before, look out, Civil War Part 2 coming. We can have a Civil War Part 2. First Civil War was at Money in the Bank last year. It was Roman and Solo in the tag versus Jey. Solo and Roman lost, and Roman was pinned by Jey Uso. Roman Reigns' first ever pinfall in 3 years. So this could very well go down. But if Jey is the champion, it will make things much more interesting because now there's champions in the Bloodline. And it could make the other team step their game up, be like, hey, maybe we need a world championship on our side. Maybe we need a major title on our side of Bloodline because it's Bloodline versus Bloodline for the dynasty, for the family, for the Bloodline, as the poster says right here. And this would be a good matchup. But Rock is going to be on Solo. And we can see Jacob Fatu. That's the person in the middle there. We got Toma at the top. Solo at the bottom. That's Jacob Fatu, and that is the late Umaga's son, who's also trained, as mentioned earlier, with Booker T's Reality of Wrestling promotion. So he could show up too. But if Rock is over there with Solo and those guys, that means Roman's going to need some help. Who will be the fourth person to help them in the Bloodline? That's the thing. War games will be lit for sure. Yeah, this will have to ultimately end at Survivor Series War Games. Yeah, I can see a 4-on-4 match. We could say Roman, the Usos, and one other person versus Rock, Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tonga. I don't know who the fourth man would be, But I would say the fourth man could be, I don't know, could be any Samoan person. You know, I wish Samoa Joe was still around. You know, or another Samoan person that could be a great addition on Roman's side of the war. But this is going to be a bloodline versus bloodline war. We see that this is divided now. And it's all because of Roman losing at WrestleMania 40. So this is definitely going to be something to look into. This is going to be something to make it much more interesting. But I would say if you're going to have the fourth person, make it more of a, this is bloodline Samoa person. But I don't think they're going to do that. They don't have any other people that could be of the Samoan descent. Seth Rollins, yeah, he's the perfect person because he was in the tag match WrestleMania 49 1. And, even though he lost with Cody, he could link up back with Roman, Shield 2.0, 2.5, Shield 2.0, Bloodline 2.0. They could do a mix. A little bit of Shield and the Bloodline combined. They could do that too. Remember, you said don't forget they could reboot the Shield 3.0, Punk, Seth, and Roman. They can. I don't think CM Punk's going to be inserted into this storyline. He's more of having a program with Drew McIntyre. Maybe when he finished the program with Drew McIntyre, because we know he called Drew McIntyre the World Heavyweight Championship twice now. Once at WrestleMania, which caused Damon to cash in, then twice when he lost the number one contendership for the right to face Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. So Punk could lead on and get added to this feud later and teaming up with, Seth and Roman and maybe the Usos, and we can have ourselves a little 5-on-5, war game style match. The only thing is, if that happened, who would be on Solo team along with The Rock? They would have to add a person. Who would be on their side? It was going to be a 5-on-5. I like where this is going. Like I said, the Bloodline story continues. When we think the Bloodline is over, it's just heating up. When we think it's slowing down, it's going up. So Bloodline, this is great storytelling by Triple H and the rest of the creative team in WWE. They are definitely building a story here. And this all started back in 2020 when Roman won the Universal Championship at Payback 2020 when he defeated Braun Strowman and the previous champion before him, the late, great Bray Wyatt. But yeah, we don't know. But I know the Bloodline is just getting started. Remember, The Rock told Cody Rhodes, we're just getting started. He'll have his feud with Cody. What could happen too, speaking of which, since Rock is going to feud with Cody, I think this is when it's going to start doing a dividing of the war. It'll be these three versus these three, and Rock will be having his feud with Cody Rhodes. And when that's finished, then Rock will be added to this feud, and maybe Seth Rollins get added to this feud, make it a 4-on-4 match. That could be very well possible. But we got to remember, Rock and Cody will be going on. It's rumored to have a Cody versus Rock at next year's WrestleMania 41. Supposedly could be Minneapolis, Minnesota. Supposedly, nothing's official yet. But as far as WrestleMania location for WrestleMania 41. But this very well could be a great storyline of the Bloodline story continuing. And like I said, we could have a Civil War Part 2 at Survivor Series. If not Survivor Series, maybe a big SummerSlam match. Who knows? I know that when they have this Bloodline versus Bloodline match, it will be at a big stage event. And it's going to be a very good one. It's going to be better than the first Civil War match. Man, I feel like trying to watch WWE. We know storylines and characters. It's like watching a movie, especially with this Bloodlines. It's literally like a movie, but long-term movie. It's literally a mini-series / movie watching the Bloodline form. It's been 4 years now. The Bloodline's been going strong, and there's been many changes, many additions now, and it could be a subtraction of certain things, but mostly addition to make the whole storyline better. So I can't wait to see what it's going to do. Now, remember, you said WrestleMania 41 will be Roman versus Brock, and then we'll end a storyline here. If so, that's a great storyline. 4 or 5 years in, like I said, it's like a movie. It started with Roman winning the championship, the Universal title. Then it ends, and that's at Payback 2020. It ends at WrestleMania 41, which will be approximately 4.5 years later. Not a bad story to me. One of the best storylines in history of professional wrestling, not just WWE. You tell me what storyline is better than the Bloodline. The only storyline I do see that's solid too is Judgment Day, but the Bloodline was before the Judgment Day. Judgment Day started in 2022, Bloodline 2020. Other than that, though, this will be a great story. And Rock and Roman, this is going to kick off their story, as Gilbert mentioned. Rock and Roman, which I also believe will be WrestleMania 41. Rumor he'll have a match with Cody, but I think it'll be a SummerSlam type match or Royal Rumble even. It ain't going to be a WrestleMania match. But this is the match we wanted. We all wanted Roman versus The Rock. We all wanted this for years. And now they've been waiting their time, trying to do the proper build storyline, and then that finally it's here. It's going to come down to a simple thing. Like I said earlier, it's going to be the final boss or the head of the table that will win that match. And then it's going to be first final boss versus head of the table. That's what's going to come down to at the end of the day. Gilbert said Rock versus Cody, maybe Elimination Chamber, because Roman and Rock do not need Cody title. No, they don't. And that is a whole fact. This is a title. It's the star power all over it. Right.
Because I am that damn good.
Yeah, definitely. They don't need a championship around this. They don't need none of that. Not at all. Not at all. But I can see Rock and Cody, they will sell their differences at a Royal Rumble or SummerSlam first. And then the big fish that we all want will be Roman versus Rock at WrestleMania 41. And that will also not only end that storyline, it will also end The Rock's career. That will be the last match The Rock ever performs in, because Rock said he wants to come back something big, something major, something that the fans will be interested in and invested, and that is Roman Reigns. And we heard this once Roman Reigns became the head of the table and won the championship back in 2020. So this is definitely where it's going to end at. And, and Rock will send Roman to the sunset. So definitely something interesting to see. That's how we're going to do it. At least how WWE will do that storyline. And honestly, I wouldn't want to see it any other way. Rock versus Roman, final boss, head of table. I don't see what's the problem with that. That's perfect storytelling. And like I said before, WWE definitely knows how to write a story and keep us interested. Like I said, it's not just storyline. It's like it's a movie. It's like a little mini series movie. Well said, why watch reality shows? Why watch NFL? Why watch MLB? Why watch NBA? Why watch the NHL when you got the WWE? That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say regarding that whole thing when it comes to storyline. That's all I have to say regarding that.
That's all I got to say about that.
This is great storytelling. And not only is this great storytelling for right now, this is storytelling that's going to be talked about for many, many years down the line. Yeah, facts. The Rumble will go for Cody and Rock. Carl said facts. Yes. Rock versus Roman will be Rock's last final match. And that's it, a retirement match. And Rock to the sunset. Rock's already, established actor and rumored he could become president one day of the United States. But that's another story for another day. But other than that, this is where the Bloodline story is headed to. And Rock was right. He said that it's going to be the Rock 10.0. He said that at the WrestleMania 40 Night 1 press conference. And we're going to get not just the Rock 10.0, we're going to get a Bloodline 5.0. We'll get Roman Reigns 2.0 or 5.0. We're going to get all of that. And I think that'll be the perfect way to tell a story. And it'll be the perfect way for everyone to enjoy perfect storytelling. There's no other way besides that. So definitely, buckle your seatbelt. The ground's gonna get bumpy, and it's only just to go like The Rock said. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the Bloodline versus Bloodline, it will come down to final boss and the head of the table. It's gonna come down to those two, and it sets it up. That's gonna set it up. And that always gonna set it up. You're gonna either root for the final boss or you're gonna root for the head of the table. That's what you're gonna root for at the end of the day. That's what it's gonna come down to. That's the match we all want. So we're gonna get that match at WrestleMania 41. And then finally, we'll get The Rock and Roman to end this long, captivating, intriguing, interesting storyline. They will finally end their story.
Toma, finish the story.
And that's what will happen at WrestleMania 41. And it can't get no better than that. Other than that, if it doesn't, it's going to get long and drawn out. And that is the last thing we want. And that's all I have regarding the Bloodline story continues. Civil War 2 coming. You guys let me know what you think of the whole scenario of the Bloodline being formed, the new formation of the Bloodline Solo, making decisions, order to him, and then a whole final boss versus the tribal chief at a table. We will get that. Soon to videos will pop up for Red Carpet Ring. First video will be predicting 2024 WWE Draft. The second video will be WWE WrestleMania 40 Night 2 main event. Until then, it is OUT.